Hi everybody! Today I want to read to you Beautiful Oops, and you may have logged on over spring break to my enrichment session on Zoom to hear this book, but I only had about 30 people in there, so I want to read it again anyway for anyone that may have missed it. It's one of my favorites. My version is a little bit ripped and torn, but just like I tell you in the library, it doesn't matter. These books are all well loved and they still can be read over and over again. And mine is a little bit damaged because this used to be in the car with Nicholas on his way to his babysitter, and he would read it every day. So some of the pages are ripped, but it still works perfectly fine. After I read this book to you, I'm actually going to film an art project that I learned in 4th or 5th, maybe even younger, maybe even 3rd grade. Something that my art teacher in 3rd grade taught me, and I never forgot it. And it's still something that I doodle sometimes, like if I'm bored or on a corner of a paper. So I thought I would teach you guys how to do it. And then you could take pictures of them and send them to me, and I'll post them on Twitter or who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'll print them out and hang them in my new house. I don't know. So without further ado, Beautiful Oops. This book is by Barney Stalsberg. Oh no, is this bad lighting? I guess I'll hold the pictures over here. All right, here we go. Oops, a torn piece of paper is just the beginning. Every spill has lots and lots of possibilities. Bent paper is something to celebrate. I love this little penguin family. A little drip of paint lets your imagination run wild. A scrap of paper can be fun to play with. A smudge and a smear can make magic appear. A stain has potential if you play with its shape. Holes in your paper are worth exploring. Now, this is one of Nicholas's favorite parts because it's so fun. When you think you have made a mistake, oops, think of it as an opportunity to make something beautiful. Have a great day, friends. Stay tuned if you want to see that art project I was talking about. If you don't, then don't. You could log off, and I will see you next time.
Okay, so now it is time for some art. The first thing you need, obviously, is a piece of paper. I always use recycled paper because, hey, nowadays we are pretty low on paper, being that Nicholas is obsessed with coloring. So you want to make a square, or a rectangle would work too. And then you just want to make any sort of line. I just did a random squiggle and it will work perfectly. That's kind of what inspired me from this book. Even if you make a mistake, it's still going to work. So you'll see that I'm following the line with another line. And where my original line dips, I dip my second line. And where the original line bends up, I bend up my next line, okay? So that's just what I keep doing over and over and over. You dip where it dips and you bump where it bumps. Try to keep a steady hand. Try to make the lines as close together as possible. The closer together they are, the better the end result looks. I'm just gonna speed up this next clip so that you could see it getting done. And you start to see that with each line that you add, it starts to look like an optical illusion, and it ends up looking really cool. I remember when I did this in elementary school, it looked like spaghetti. And I still think it does look like spaghetti. So I like to use black because it makes the biggest impact, but I did take out a bunch of other markers too, but I did decide to go with black. You could do other colors, and if you do use black, you can then color it in at the end. And when I am done showing you guys how this is done, Mrs. Camina is going to make a little guest appearance and tell you about it in a bit more technical art terms. Trying to do my best, but we all know that Mrs. Camina will probably be able to teach it way better. So I hope you guys like it. The last thing that you should always do to your art is sign it, and then it is done. It can get framed. You could use it as a greeting card. You could just use this as a stress relief. Any of those things are perfect, and I look forward to seeing yours. Bye guys, have a great day.
Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Camina. Today we are going to have a lot of fun learning about op art. Op art is short for optical art, and these works of art typically give the viewer the impression of movement with flashing and vibrating patterns. First, what you're going to do today is take your paper and draw lines, starting off wide and becoming narrower, or starting off narrow and becoming wide. Next, you're going to take your marker and starting at the top of each section, you're going to make curved lines going upwards. Once you reach the midway point, your curved lines will switch direction and they will go downwards. When you're complete doing this across your paper, you will have a work of art that looks like this. Curved lines up, midway through, the curved lines will go down. Next, choose 2 or 3 colors that you like and use a lot pressure when you begin coloring, starting on the left, less pressure in the center, and then more pressure again when you reach the right side of your line. When it's complete, you will have a beautiful work of art that is truly an example of an optical illusion using op art.